Hello, everyone. It is Kenny here. It is Basketball Rewind, and we are back in the future somehow through the magic of the internet.
1.21 gigawatts. We here.
Yeah, exactly. If you're wondering why your RAM is so expensive, this is why. This is not AI, though, folks. So here's the thing. We're going to today, at this time, we're going to be talking about trades because everyone loves trade talk. We're not going to be talking about trade talk. We're not going to be talking about how, okay, this pick versus that pick versus this or whatever. I'm just going to lay the ground rules. Number one, the trades that I'm going to talk about, okay, we're probably going to have to give up a pick, okay? And the reason why is because Bobby done goofed, okay? And he's done signed some terrible deals and then signed terrible deals. Okay? If Pirtle wasn't on the extension, he probably would have been gone. And to be honest, for those who wanted Trae Young, you probably would have had Trae Young by now. I'm just being honest. A deal would have been done. Okay? So just understand, folks, this is the cost of doing business. This is the equivalent of signing DeMarre Carroll, and you have to move off DeMarre Carroll to get Justin Hamilton, who no one remembers except for Hoop Grid people. Okay?
Hamilton, wow.
Yes. I don't even know how I remember that name. I didn't look that up. I just remember. Sometimes you remember just seared into your memory stupid things that occur, unfortunately. But that's okay. Things happen. Mistakes are made. And they're rectified through Justin Hamilton. So, or Jared Sullinger in trading 2 seconds to go get PJ Tucker who left. Hey, things happen. Trust him aside. So, we get into today. Okay, there are 3 potential deals that have been swirling around in Raptors land. They've checked in on LaMelo. We're not going to talk about LaMelo today. We're going to talk about the other dudes. Sabonis is one. I've made a thread on it. I'm going to kind of pull from some of that thread. And we have 2 other guys, which is AD, which we've talked about a little bit. We'll talk about again. And who's the other guy? Joe, that's right, Ja Morant. Would any of you guys want to lead this conversation off?
Man, this is Coach's neck of the woods, man. Let him start this off.
Well, I also did a little show on Sabonis and AD. I put a poll out last night asking Raptor fans, who do you want of the 3? You know who's winning right now?
Sabonis.
Sabonis is. 42% would prefer Sabonis. Now, why? Well, I guess it depends on the person, why. But there is a case to be made for Sabonis. And if you told me we were bottom 20 in defense, I would say absolutely not.
Right.
But because we're top 7 in defense, we've hovered top 5 and top 3, I think there's more of a case now. One thing with Sabonis, super physical. We're not that physical of a team, and that's just roster construction. Sabonis, he's like a little mini Jokic to a degree. Even like when I say mini, I mean like obviously he's shorter too, but he can score a bit. He can definitely rebound. He can pass. He's probably the center that Darko would want for his offense, just taking a guess, because we saw how much Pirtle got the ball last year, and I'm sure he'd want to give Sabonis those kind of touches. So Sabonis, I think, would definitely improve the rebounding numbers of this team, because we've had too many games where we're out-rebounded, and it makes sense because everybody's under 6'8". Sabonis, he's right in the heart of his prime right now, 29 years old. AD's 33, constantly injured. I get it for AD. He's clearly the more talented one.
Oh
my
gosh, 33 years old.
The money's easier to get to Sabonis as well compared to AD. I'm not trying to bring so much AD into the conversation. I think getting a big is going to be imperative to some degree. If it's Sabonis, AD, Nick Richards, Sharp, whomever, because the back don't look good for Pirtle right now.
Can I mention one thing about the AD part that crossed my mind the other day? People kind of forget about this. I'm not sure how many Raptor fans remember this, but but Akeem Olajuwon is a Raptor or was a Raptor officially.
Yes, he is.
Right?
But it wasn't signed for that long.
No, but
Or like AD would be a shorter term deal, is my point.
yeah, but what I'm saying is the circumstances are very similar where it might end the same way, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It is what it is.
Everyone knows about this case, reputation. Now, obviously, Elijah was a better player, but Elijah also dropped off faster. However, it was one of those things where it's like, yo, man, can we get a refund on this? That's why I'm thinking that people might be careful if they go with AD. That's all I'm saying. This has happened before at Raptors management.
So at the end of this, we got to do ranked choice voting. This is what we're doing. We're gonna introduce we're gonna introduce Canada to their new election system. Ranked choice voting. Okay. Coach, you said something. I'm just going to tag in here. You said something that shouldn't. You kind of poo-pooed it. I would look at it the other way. The reason why AD is interesting is because his money is more. Okay? Because I can get rid of more stuff.
But it's harder to get to the stuff, though.
Yeah, but they don't got no choice. Who this is what I'm saying. You don't have a choice. We're both in the barrel together, okay?
I'm thinking Dallas also. They have a full roster right now. We'd have to send them 3 guys, and then
I think that's what they're trying to do. Now, does Dallas take the 3 guys? Nope.
No. Temple's getting waived after that trade happens if they have to make the money.
There goes the law degree.
There goes the law degree.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the point is that they want to. So I said this to you guys offline. I said the priority of this trade deadline in terms of how the rumors are coming out, because even with the Sabonis thing, they said they're interested in him as an upgrade, but they don't like the long-term money. They also said there's like a ... Also, they're looking at potential of future roster reset, which tells me a lot. Okay, it tells me a lot is that they don't think they're gonna gamble on worst case scenario. Hey, AD, you want to opt in? Opt in. Cool. You get your $60 million. Because let's keep it a buck. I understand you guys don't think that Bobby can negotiate. Maybe he can't. But at the end of the day, he's not going to get $40 million on the open market. Well, you can't tell me.
I think right now your window might have just gone by because now.
Well, you saw a trade. Are we breaking news?
No. As a pod I just did just now yesterday. And there's a new sheriff or a new guy in town when it comes to trade talks. And I think Dallas is going to look at the bell of the ball and say, that's a prettier looking thing than RJ right now.
Please don't tell me that it's Giannis.
No, I'm talking about Jonathan Kuminga, right?
Oh,
he's already made potential deals with Dallas. The one that would be circling on Gafford.
But isn't Kuminga been much more tied to Sacramento?
He's been tied to them too, but it makes a lot of sense for Dallas too. And I'm sitting there going, like, if I have my choice between Kuminga or RJ, with all due respect to RJ, I got a two-way player that's younger and has the potential to be as much of a scorer as RJ is. So I say, you know what? And he's playing big games. I think I might take Kuminga in this case when it's all said and done, and he's a twitchier player than RJ.
Fair enough.
So I'm sitting there going, like, I think I might go down that path. It's been fun, Toronto. It's been fun.
But just from a Raptor standpoint, again, I think part of it is if they're going to get a big, it seems like they want to just get off the money and get off as much money as possible. Are they going to be able to do it? Probably not. But the priority is probably to get off one, if not both, of those contracts if they can. And just in terms of the rumors that are out there. And when I say contracts, I'm not talking about RJ. Funny enough, I'm talking about Quickly and Pirtle. And they're trying to attach any sort of thing to get off these dudes.
These guys. Explain to me again how he got the job. Just curious.
I personally believe that he overstated how easy it would be to clean up the mess of the roster. And then it's now an oopsie. Because we, as per the reporting of William Liu, both Ed Rogers as well as Keith Pelly were at the game, and Keith Pelly has frequented a lot of games, and both of them individually last game had a very long conversation with each other, and both individually had a very long conversation with a Bobby Webster.
Get a little hot underneath there.
Boy, the Blue Jays doing well now. Okay, Let's go. You gotta go pick up one of these bigs or the point guard right now.
It could be that, or it could be, listen, man, you said that you could clean up the damn mess.
Exactly. It's that.
Because Keith Pelly's a TV guy, and he's looking at this, and it's like, okay, well, cool, the defense is good, you're doing well, it's a weak East, but let's be honest, the real money is having, if you can be perpetually, okay, this is where the real money comes from. It's not really from winning a championship. You win one championship, the thing goes up great. And then if you can kind of hover around fourth and be in the mix and get 2 playoff rounds perpetually and never go further, it's great because people are sold on hope.
Yes, exactly. And the problem they have right now is, and I'm wondering, Keith Pelly and others are looking at it as like, this could potentially be a house of cards, right? Like if it could fall. I
think that's what they're betting on.
That's what they're concerned about. I agree. And I think their assessment would be correct. Is like, it is hanging on with duct tape and wherever else at this point. And I think they're trying to make a move to kind of prevent that from happening by making these moves. But to your point, no one's fooled, man. No one's taking these 2 dudes.
Because if Ingram goes down, for example, and you didn't make the AD trade, Pirtle's back's still bad, and IQ's IQ. IQ plays, but IQ is not really the point guard that you want. Okay.
Even like we talked about this West Coast trip, we kind of talked about a couple times. If they come out and they get kind of blistered on this West Coast trip, you just look at the standings. That alone might kind of put things in a free fall.
It might. So, but I'm just talking about in the future, right? Say like those guys go down, all of a sudden it's like next year. It's like, oh, wow, what do we do? And I think that what they're looking at is that if they have to do a reset, you might as well give it the good old college try, right? And then you can reset easy, right? And then it's like, say it doesn't work this year, or say like you start off next year and, these guys go down, or 1 or 2 of those guys go down, and suddenly it's like you go like almost like the beginning of the year, but you do that like twice in a row, early on in the first 2 months. It's like, okay, let's quickly pull the ripcord. Right now, if you're trying to pull the ripcord and you're trying to say, hey, can anyone want some change? Anyone want to quickly for some change?
Well, you just, for any of these deals, we have to send out a pick regardless. A first-round pick is going for Sabonis or AD or John Morant.
Yes.
And they better not send a 2026 one out for Anthony Davis. Because if you send that out and he's out till the end of March or doesn't come back at all, and you don't have your 2026 pick, you're screwed.
But wait, there's
more.
There's more. I'm going to lottery protect that pick.
Why would Dallas do that then?
Who else wants Anthony Davis?
I'm listening right now here, Coach. I'm just wondering, like, what?
I'm going beyond Anthony Davis is my point, right? Like, I'm going like in general for these guys, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying they have to probably take Pirtle back. Very likely they're going to have.
Oh, if it's Anthony Davis, just money wise, you have to take Pirtle back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying not it would be bearing quickly, that kind of thing.
And by the way, there's other teams that are interested in Gafford.
Yeah,
and we'll probably get Gafford.
I just mentioned one of them just now.
Yep. Pacers
assuming
are
it's
another.
Barrett and Pirtle that's going back, and now you trade. Let's just say you do the trade. Pirtle's out with his back, and then you bring in AD, and he's out till March, and now you don't have a center. You don't have anyone over 6'8".
This has been my Coach. This has been my issue all along with this whole concept. It's like we're just swapping one out for the other. You still have no depth in the center position.
Yes, but that's the plan. This is my point: is that they are trying. In my mind, it's the only way that it makes sense. Okay, is that first of all, that the coach he has trouble with his rotation, so that's the only way to force feed him playing your number 9 overall draft pick, which is CMB. Okay, sorry, AD. If AD doesn't go back, if Pirtle doesn't go back, there's a world where you say, okay, AD. We're gonna give the guy with the bad back the hard part. So it's easy for you, my friend.
Oh my God.
Now, the reality is that none of these deals are great. Okay? This is why it's like, which part of the poo-poo platter would you like to taste first, sir? I think the reason why they want AD is just pure money. If they go for AD, it tells me it's purely a money play. There's a world where it works out, where he's free, and maybe you make a run, you go to the East Conference Finals, you have as Coach said to Coach, you have one of the best front courts in the league. You don't have no point guard, but one of Quickly or Pirtle's going out anyway. So you've at least fixed one of your problems, quote unquote. Okay.
I would say that right now the management probably would lean towards trying to get Anthony Davis.
Yes.
I think if
it's also
Darko,
a bigger name that you can sell on a ticket,
exactly
even though he
that's
ain't going to be at half the tickets.
That's exactly my point. Exactly, and I think Darko wants Sabonis. That's who he wants.
Yes. Now the question is, who wants John Morant? Because he's also been in the rumors. Because I know Miami don't want John Morant. Now,
I don't know if anyone really. I think he's the consolation prize if they can't get any of the other two. Honestly, I don't think there's much of a market.
That's why I think it's going to end up being him. By the way,
I don't think anyone's.
Don't discount him being here.
Yeah, because he's the only person in this case that anyone's willing to take Quickly's money for.
Yeah.
You know, like if Memphis, like, you know, we just want to get rid of it, fine, we'll eat Quickly's money for the next 3 years. Now, I personally, if I'm Memphis, I would be like, no, I don't know about that. I'll try to get John Morant to some decent position where he's playing consistent games again, and then try maybe at the end of the season to try again and ride it out then. Memphis is still in the play-in as we speak.
Yeah, but they don't want to be in the play-in. That's the point.
Yeah, but they're a small market in this small market right now. If they want to flop it out, fine. John Morant's probably gonna get hurt anyways, and you're gonna be in the lottery anyhow.
Yeah, but then you're wasting time and you're changing your lottery position. Like, this is my point, right? Like, it's like Dallas. At some point, you just got to pull the trigger and like this is what we're doing. We're riding it out.
Yeah, but I think Memphis can buy time for the year and wait to the end of the year and just try to rehabilitate.
But you said that the draft's so good. If the draft's so good, why are you wasting time? Make the decision. You're not gonna have to like how and honestly, John Morant with that situation, with how, let's be honest, is not looking like a fun situation for everyone involved.
No, it's
and
not.
The leaks and stuff like that. I don't see that getting better.
But I'm also not trading for a lousy contract and quickly. That got right out for 3 more
years. You can have Pirtle too. No,
guys can be in retirement home in a year's time.
I mean, there's a world where it ends up being just, it'll be funny. From a Raptor standpoint, I don't think that they do the deal if unless they take Quickly or Pirtle. That's the truth of the matter. But there is a world where if Bobby's real desperate, it's going to be RJ and like Ochai.
For John Morant, you'd have to get rid of Quickly, though. You can't have a backcourt of Morant and Quickly.
I agree with you, but there's a world where that's what happens.
Just end it there. At least it'll be exciting to watch. At least that much when he does.
Well, he can run an offense better than Quickly. He's shown that. He's got the great. Question. He's got the great change of speed, athleticism.
Yeah, like he would be fun to watch from that standpoint.
Now,
he'd put butts in seats.
The shooting, that's another story, but
he can at least drive and kick it better than anyone.
Yeah,
but that said, I mean, right now his shooting ain't much. I mean, Jamal Shedd's shooting at what now? 28%.
I mean, he's at one point he was bottom 4 in the league for true shooting.
That's my point. So we're already playing a guard right now. 30
and like
minutes,
he's your quote unquote starting level guy.
Well, we've got better talent or talented version of it. We're already gonna have a guy play 30 minutes. It might as well be.
I mean, so in terms of the field goal percentage, he's shooting 36.5%.
Which one is that? Shed or
Shed?
Shed. So that's
you say
point.
Mogbo?
No, I know which one is or Shed. Yeah, Mogbo. Yeah, might be possible him too, but
of the three, Sabonis is the safest. But the problem is with Sacramento, they already got Levine and DeMar DeRozan, so you can't just trade. Here, take RJ off our hands when you already got those two. You'd have a trade for one of those guys would have to go down, and then.
Well, that's their problem. But I hear you. Yeah, I think for Sacramento, they too are cleaning up messes and trying to figure out what do we do and how are we going to proceed. And they have to make like three deals in quick succession. But they own their own pick.
Exactly.
They own their own pick, so it does change things.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, so there's an argument for Sabonis. There's an argument for all of these guys. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
There is.
Right? I guess the thing with the Memphis thing is Memphis is the most likely to get off quickly. And I think that based on the rumors and based on the Trae Young stuff, and based on the fact that you're probably not going to get the other guys anyways, unless they're really with the dog on a bone with Anthony Davis, because Sacramento, there's not really a clean deal that makes sense. Like, let's keep it a buck. Sacramento's trying to clean their books too. Why do they want Pirtle on the books for 4 years?
That's my point with all these situations, because I'm sitting here.
At least quickly plays.
Oh, but barely. I mean, when you look at Atlanta,
He's played this year.
You know,
Let's ignore last year. Don't look at that.
ignore that. Right? Yeah, I'll completely ignore that. Even the year before was dicey. All right, I'm looking here. Atlanta's
Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah, Atlanta's already told you, it's like, dude, we want no part of this. Like, we want no part of this. And if Atlanta's telling you that, and that was in the Landry Fields era, I believe, when that rumor was happening. And so why am I thinking that anyone else, even Sacramento, ain't that dim-witted?
Well,
No, man. They already took their chances with Westbrook. They're not going there to go and get quickly.
I'm saying Scott Perry's running the team, though. He drafted RJ quickly.
Stauskas?
There sometimes can be a loyalty to the guys that you draft.
I don't think Scott Perry's touching that, man. Like, I think right now, based on the insights of what people said, and I think what Kenyon said as well, too, referring to those things, they want the quickly deal. When you're named for a contract, when people are sitting there shocked, that means it's not a good thing sometimes, guys.
Well, I want the Pat Williams deal.
Right, exactly. That's not good.
Pat Williams got $18 million a year, and then right after a report came out that they gave him the money to motivate him to work harder.
Right. You know who had one of those type of deals and Michael Jordan took his wrath out on him every time? John Contact. Okay. The John Contact deal. And every time you saw that man in Atlanta, man, that man, he stole money, or in this case, robbed his family. He had no mercy on John Contact.
So the thing with Ja, and this is what it comes down to, is that how toxic is that situation, and how many other suitors do they have that are just like, because already Miami came out. Miami was one of the suitors. Right. The other one is the Bucks. Right. Miami basically said, no, we can't fix them.
The Bucks might be likelier.
The Bucks are the only other one that I've heard of where it's like, okay, they're desperate enough. Yes. I think that they might. But like, you're telling me Ryan Rollins?
Well, we saw what Trey
or a 2026 pick.
Well, do we have to give a 2026 pick for Ja Morant?
I'm telling you right now, I think that they've accepted their fate. They're gonna protect if it's a 26 pick. I don't know.
I'm making no trade with coach.
If it's a 26 pick, they will say it's top 10 protected. So if you fall out, you really fall out. Please, Dallas.
No part of it. No.
Okay.
I don't care what year, what it is.
So you would rather potentially have Quickly for 4 more years?
I would rather wait till next year on the carousel and see what comes up next year. Right? Because eventually because let's face it, every year he eats the contract here, he gets a little bit more valuable for somebody else.
It's true, yeah.
And now it's only 2 years you got to deal with the back.
We're still top 4 in the East. We're only half a game back at 3rd place, so you could probably bite the bullet for now.
Now, here's the other problem, because this is what's bubbling on this side. We're talking about everyone else's dirty laundry. The dirty laundry in this city right now is, which I think is one of the problems, going back to our initial talking in the part 1, is they going back to your stats. The other reason why they want to move off quickly is if they want to see a particular individual grow the way he's supposed to grow, they need to move.
I don't think he's the only one. I think in general, when you have a 28th overall offense to at times it's maybe 20th overall offense.
We've seen it, right?
You need to move heaven and earth to try to get better. And I think that's why I keep going to the fact that they're probably going to try to get someone who can run an offense. And with Ja Morant, it's like maybe he's motivated, maybe he's not. If it don't work and if he's injury prone, at least we have an out. This is why they're looking at guys that have an out, partly because this is the bottom of the barrel, and this is what you can afford.
Right. Well,
champagne on a beer budget.
At least Ja's money's easier to get to, right? His money is the lowest of all 3 of them right now.
Well, that's the other thing too.
Right. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis is the worst. Sabonis is in the middle.
He's just right.
But here's the way I look at some of these things too. I'm just thinking from a Raptors perspective. There are guys with on-court issues and guys with off-court issues. Now, AD's got on-court issues. He can't stay healthy. Ja Morant's got both. Can't stay healthy, and we know he's got some off-court issues. Sabonis, He's been fairly healthy until this year. This is his first year where he's had a few injuries in like 4 or 5 years. So he's the safer one. Obviously, he's not the more talented of the three, or I would argue that he's not. So there are pros and cons to all of these, but when it comes down to money, John Morant's the easiest one.
But coach, if you're a gambler, okay, and you have an addiction problem, right? Don't you want the biggest payout? And here's the other thing. There's a world, okay? I don't know, because I'm not in the front office, but there's a world where they're willing to take that gamble. Because if it don't work out with the dude with both problems, it don't work out real quick. And you get to blow the whole puppy up.
That's a bigger gamble than Kawhi getting Anthony Davis.
I mean, I would rather go the other route, but I know we're not talking about him today. But if those rumors are correct, I would be talking about that. I would be looking for some jump.
I haven't heard much about that. I know you're talking about.
Jambalaya stew and looking at that situation down in New Orleans.
That's a completely different. That's why I'm saying like these deals all fit into the whole narrative of, and that's why I keep putting out that whole Sabonis thing where it's like, what do they say about Sabonis? They said that they don't like it because of the money. So they're trying to get off the money and they don't want to take on. And Ja is the only one that is like, yeah, you're taking on money, but it's a little bit shorter.
That's the part I don't get from the standpoint of like, I'll just put it for the coach crowd that's talking about Sabonis. It's like, I don't understand how quickly he works in Sacramento.
He doesn't.
Like, they got like 4 million guards. Like,
you just said RJ doesn't work either.
Yeah, at least he works a bit better.
So it's like Pirtle. It was really, you're trying to sell him on Pirtle.
Pirtle, yeah.
It's like, hey, you could have a guy in practice who's like a real good, he's a good.
You're trying to sell RJ to them. Hopefully, they can ship out DeRozan or Levine because they've said on their local basketball podcast, like the guys that cover the team. I'm not talking about content creators, but the actual like Granges and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they really seem to like RJ, or they did back in the summer. Anyway, so that's your selling point.
The original deal from summer was supposed to be RJ and Pirtle. That was the rumored deal.
I mean, you're not selling Pirtle. You're selling RJ, but you have to throw Pirtle in.
Doesn't that go back to my original point that if you didn't give Pirtle the money that one of these deals would have been done by now?
I gotta agree with our man mouth the North. Worst extension in franchise history. It might be.
I'm not going there today, but what I will say is that So let's rank all three. If you were to rank them, rank choice voting, which one do you want in the first thing, and in the second column, which one do you think is most likely?
Okay,
Coach, I'll go with you because I know what your first one is.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sabonis, AD, then John Morant.
Okay.
What's more? Oh, sorry, more likely or going beyond that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish up.
So, what's likely to happen? Probably AD, like you said, the money and the risk that they might be willing to take. Probably AD, Morant because of, again, the quickly situation. Maybe they see a situation with Darko and Morant again, and then Sabonis might be last.
Okay.
I think for me, oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna go there, man. I'm gonna go wild and say, you know what?
You're like, I'm quitting my job at that point.
This was for my man Keenan, man.
Sorry, boss, I can't do it.
I'm gonna go with this one for my man Keenan, man. I'm gonna say Ja, man. So I'm gonna take Ja as my one, my two as Sabonis, 380. And
okay. Interesting.
And what I think is the likeliest to happen, I think Memphis is the likeliest to happen.
Yeah. I'm going Ja, AD, Sabonis. I understand the basketball reasons for Sabonis, but at the end of the day, I don't think that they're that committed to Sabonis. And I'm also factoring in my mind the long-term vision and like being able to have an out. And like Sabonis it's like there's no option. It's just like the money is the money, and if it works, let me put it this way: worst case scenario, AD opts into his deal. Okay, he might not. He might actually opt out of the deal and be like, "I'm out of here." or he might opt out of the deal and get traded. You can then trade him to a contender next year. As you know, but the point is that if he opts into the deal, you now have the biggest expiring chip in the entire NBA. And that is worth something in the new
Keep
CBA.
telling you, man, that ain't gonna happen, man. Keep telling you.
You don't think that he would opt in?
I think he's gonna get the extension.
He's not going to get, even if he gets the extension, as I said, he's not going to get the extension. He's not getting $40 million. Not with the bad back, not with the stuff, not with barely, no, sorry, not a bad back. Sorry, my bad. This is the one thing that's working for him is his back. But with him being able to be in and out of lineups, he's not getting a $40 million extension. It's just not going to be.
That's what we said a year ago about Brandon Ingram.
No, I said that he would get a $40 million extension.
Yeah,
roll back the tape.
What I'm saying, what you described as Brandon Ingram, let's put it that way.
In what sense?
He doesn't stay on the court. Everything then hurting him besides his back in this case here, and he still got $40 million.
Yeah, but Brandon Ingram, number one, is younger.
True.
A lot younger.
But he's more accomplished.
And he is more accomplished, but that only works so much. We've won a championship here too. But the other thing here that is really important is realistically, it's like, I'm sorry, man. Like, at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying, okay? And you're saying that you're basically saying that no matter what, you think that Bobby's going to get railroaded. Yes. And I'm saying that there's a world that he does not get railroaded because this is above him in terms of the money. Sorry, but Keith Pelly was brought in for a reason. Ed Rogers took over for a reason. So at some point, you are not going to be making the decisions ultimately. So
this bunch likes names.
Okay, can we at least play the hypothetical thing? Because I think that it is a fair discussion, and I don't think it's just such a done deal. I thought Ingram. No, I'm serious. I thought Ingram was more of a done deal, and Ingram, to be fair, did not have a player option.
Right. I guess all I'm looking at is I'm just looking at the reputation of the Raptors in the Bobby era and what they've done. And it's the old saying, past is prologue. I'm also looking at the Rogers group, not just for this team, but their other teams. They have shown they have no problem playing vets. Max Scherzer, I see you. All I'm saying is that be wary. You're giving it the perfectly logical, rationale thing, and I'm giving it from a standpoint of just human factor when it comes to Rodgers.
If he signs him to a long-term deal, how much money do you think he's getting? Since you're very stuck on he's going to get railroad. How much do you think he signs for?
I think it's the same $40 million.
I don't think he's going to get $40 million here specifically. If they're floating out that they want a team reset.
I'm just looking at Anthony Davis as what, because the reputation means a lot. I know in this case who his agent is. I know the agent's already worked with the Raptors and gotten a pretty good deal for guys I did not think would get that type of money. And I'm just thinking to myself, like,
is he Quickly's agent too?
I don't know. Hell no.
Because I don't think he's Quickly's agent for once.
That Rich Paul, in this case here, boy, tell you, man, you said, can we get the Quickly deal a little bit bumped up a little bit more? And the thing is, too, he's a big, and that's the other part. He's not a guard or a wing. That's way more disposable. He's a big. And bigs will play the 40, even if they can only play 5 minutes a game, they'll get paid somewhere. He's so that's the reason why I think he'll get the money from.
Is that why Mo Bamba's still getting paid?
Who?
Mo Bamba?
Well,
I'm saying like bigs don't always get paid, right?
But you joke Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba still got a chance to play this year.
He got a chance.
That's what I'm saying. Guards don't get chances after a certain time is my point. Once you make it in the first few years, it's a wrap for you.
I don't see where he's getting $40 million, I guess is my point. Like, I could see them trading him. Maybe they try to negotiate, is not working out, and he asks out. I can see that. I think that they're okay with that.
But this is my issue, too, with it. If he gets an extension, he's going to be 35, 36 years old, making $40 to $50 million. And the older he gets, the more hurt he's becoming. I think in this case, I'd rather stick with Sabonis. Wait till he's 31 when his contract is up. See you later.
I agree, Coach, but I'm just looking at how this bunch runs these things, and I would not be surprised because it makes no sense from it makes no sense from a personality
I
standpoint.
mean, to be honest, none of these deals make sense. They're stupid.
Well, fair
But,
enough.
but you have to escape your own demise.
Sabonis does make sense basketball wise in some ways. I get Sabonis. Morant to some extent makes sense basketball wise.
So does AD.
So does AD, but the AD part of it is there's a lure that star players have of that level, man. That is an X factor, a quotient that right now we are not giving enough respect to, man.
Oh, I agree, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like he's not there yet, right? And it's like even now, like if like the other day, even someone like DeRozan, who some of us say he shouldn't get paid the amount of money he did, he still got paid that money.
Yeah, he was younger, but yeah, fair enough. But even DeRozan, his most recent contract was basically what was it like? I'm just gonna look it up right now, but
But we're talking for Anthony Davis going from $54 or whatever million down to like 40 or 38. Like he still can get cut, but he can get his extensions. What I'm saying from somebody, and I suspect it would be the Raptors.
Our team's going to trade for Pirtle if he does not play, or do you think they have to see him play a few games before they actually consider it at all?
No. Well, I think Pirtle. This is why it's like Sorry, you go for it.
No, I'm just saying, from Dallas' perspective, we make that trade, we're done, right? Start looking for the Kyrie sweepstakes at that point. We're done.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a wrap. So, young man, salute you, and we're cleaning house.
Because I think anyone who takes on Pirtle, they're looking to hit the ejecto seat on the money down the road. But they're gonna basically you're taking on, it's like the age old, I'm gonna take on a bad deal, but I get a contract out of it, and you'll get something. It's probably I'm taking the L now, but guess what? I don't care. As they said, Anthony Davis ain't gonna be playing until March anyways.
Exactly. And who knows, man? When you got back issues, man, if Dallas were to make the deal, he might get some compensation later on.
That's the other thing, is that you can get like off half the deal if the back is that bad. Maybe you do the disabled player exception. So you save some extra money. There you go, bingo bango. I'm
I got
good.
my 2026 pick, and we rolling, Jay.
Exactly. Then all of a sudden you have Cooper Flagg and De'Aaron Peterson.
Yes.
If I see on the television screen that the Raptors trade all those guys and unprotected 2026 pick for Anthony,
It's not going to be unprotected.
I'm going to throw my chair at the television.
They ain't that dumb. No,
I don't think that they're going to do an unprotected pick. I can tell you
that desperate.
Gosh.
Yeah, things are bad. They're not dire.
Okay, I'll ask you this. If they would take Quickly and Pirtle, like there's your bad money right off the books, but
you're asking me personally? Because I know I'm going to be different than probably beyond,
No, but I'm saying, would you include the unprotected pick, this year's unprotected pick?
I'm not including an unprotected pick ever again. I think the closest I could get to is maybe it's a top 4 protected, which is still pretty good, right? It's still a pretty good pick.
I'm still haunted by the Pirtle protected pick there.
The problem with the Pearl pick was not just that it was a single year. It was that if it didn't convey, it keeps going and going and going. That's the problem. If you have to do the thing, you take the medicine and you move on. That's my point. Is that just do the thing and move on, right? And then worst case scenario, next year, not the best draft by comparison, but at least you got a chance. If it really blows up, hey man, we don't even have to give you a crowbar. You're already injured. Sit yourself down. Enjoy the sights and scenes. Go to the CN Tower. Enjoy. You and Brandon Ingram can hold hands, and your girls can go with you. Glorilla, enjoy the city. Okay? That's what you do.
What a mess.
That's how you tank.
It's
Sorry, Scotty. You gotta eat this one too.
I tell you, Scotty gets the raw deal on this, boy.
That's his problem.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, Scott. Pascal's like, I warned you. Welcome to it, buddy.
Hey.
No, man. But no, to your point, no. I mean, the only way I want that deal is unless I want Rowan Barrett Jr. is coming to that deal. That's the only way I'm taking.
Well, I know from a Dallas perspective and specifically a Dallas fan perspective, I don't think you're going to be able to move all 3 of the guys. I think that's just harder to do.
Honestly, the deal is there, man. The RJ deal to New Orleans is sitting there, man. Just make the move, man. Make the move.
But that might cost you 3 picks.
Are you talking about Big Z or are you talking about the third?
He's talking about the third.
Oh gosh.
I heard people bring up Zion. I'm like, dude, we've seen this before. Like, why we got to become like the Bulls of the East?
Coach, I saw you
or the Sacramento of the East.
Will it into existence, Coach, man. Maybe they'll take 2 picks and later on we keep this year's pick. They give us 2 picks later on somebody else, and we get the third for RJ. He could go.
Hey, I will ship out our unprotected 2026 pick if it's for the third.
Yeah, so I think
I would.
That probably wouldn't be enough. And that's the problem is that are you trading 3 picks for the third? Maybe, I don't know. But the third is going to have a heftier price for sure. So
yeah, they're not trading. Joe Dumars came out and said all the guys he's not going to be trading. When executives come out and say that means they're not getting the deal that they want.
That's true. So that's why I think that the third. I know you guys want to talk about the third. I don't think the third's coming here.
No,
I don't think he's moving anywhere this year. I think if there might be a Yves Missi deal. If maybe you get John Morant, you get Yves Missi. That's it. Boom, done.
I mean, I already had enough danger pay doing this for about 30 minutes. Give me something to grab a hold of, man.
Give me a morsel. Can I get a rib? How much for a rib?
No, but Joe Dumars get a big 3 in the making though with Fears and Trey and Derek Queen. He's got a 3. He's got a guard, a forward, and a big. There's your 3. Build with them.
I agree, but that Zion contract though, man, and
you gotta get rid of that somehow.
So, just to close things off, because it was a good, lively debate. We said who we thought. I guess I said it as well. You also are giving me your wish list. Is there any final thoughts that you want to say as we head into this? Because I think a deal is going to happen. Whatever deal that is, I think a deal is way too much smoke for. I don't know what the deal. It might be even a small deal.
Oh yeah, a deal's happening.
Yeah. A deal's happening. I think it might move even faster depending what happens in the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Do you think what happens in the next 2 weeks sways or dissuades them towards a guard or a big?
I think it's going to move them towards a big probably, because I think after they get through this West Coast trip. And I think depending on what happens in these games, and if it goes the way that it potentially can go based on who they're playing, it could get interesting. Let's put it that way.
I mean, right now, currently, you might look at a guard because you might say, we're in the games, but we can't execute down the stretch. But it's we're in the games with quickly out.
Yeah, but you can also look at it as, what, we have a ticking time bomb here.
And so you think it's more likely AD. And just in terms of coach wants Sabonis, but he thinks it's more likely AD as well than Sabonis.
Yeah, it's one of the 2 bigs I think is that they're looking at more so. I think they're throwing the quickly stuff out there for Chum and hoping that someone will bite, and no one's biting on that.
Yeah, I think these next 2 weeks is the trade deadline's in 2.5 weeks, I believe. Right. Anyway, so
coming up just like All-Star.
Bobby, if the bottom falls out in this West Coast trip and there's 3 or 4 game losing streak, I think Bobby's gonna move quicker because he's gonna want to save the season because everything's too tight there in the East. Now if they are winning and they're around 500, he's going to be more patient, I think, and wait towards the deadline.
But yeah, to Coach's point, there's a psychological factor that if they're below that line. If they start becoming below that line, and by the way, folks, Cleveland's playing better, just to tell you. So is that because that was supposed to be one of the obvious top 6 picks. So they're now getting it in the gear. So all of a sudden now someone's going to be losing their chair in the musical chairship in this, and watch out. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, you're right. Cleveland, it was Philly nipping. We keep having guys nipping at the heels of the Raptors, and they just can't quite get over the hump. Cleveland, I think, has a better shot than Philly, just in terms of their roster construction where they're at. I don't think Orlando's going to be able to make it. Miami's Miami, so you never know. They're the other dangerous thing, but I think the real dangerous team is probably Cleveland in terms of bumping us down to like the 5th spot.
Yeah, because Bobby's looking to impress his boss. He's looking to probably do something.
Well, he's just got off probation, man. He's got to make sure that severance doesn't kick in too quick. You got to just survive at least one more year. And this is also why I think the 2-year deals type stuff that he's going for is interesting. But I think that's Basketball Rewind. I'm sure we'll continue on the conversation at some point. But in terms of on here, like, comment, subscribe, people. Take care and peace.